why are electric cars way more popular than electric motorcycles? Well, when you think about it, electric motorcycles are extremely heavy, and to get a range even of 100 miles, that's too much to ask for. I rode a Zero DS and DSR, and then I rode a Zero S that belonged to a friend of mine, and he's an IT guy, so a lot of IT guys also love the electric craze. But the problem is, for a regular rider like me that likes to ride in the countryside and get away from the cities, where are you going to charge an electric vehicle in the middle of nowhere where most motorcycle riders like to go when you're like in West Virginia? And the answer is you can't really charge. I can take a regular motorcycle, like you can buy a used V-Strom 650, and that's going to be a much better bike for motorcyclists rather than commuters. I think electric motorcycles do really well for commuters. If you have a set commute, A to B daily, it's the same sort of traffic, that's the perfect vehicle for you. But keep in mind that a Zero electric bike, even though it's really nice and fun, it's got all these bells and whistles, Bluetooth, yada yada, it is heavy, and it feels heavy. When you get a equivalent V-Strom 650, even though the Zero is a little bit more powerful, it seems, than a V-Strom 650, the V-Strom 650 is a little bit more fun. The type of audience that gets the electric motorcycles, as far as I can tell, are just techie people. Techie people that make pretty decent salaries, who are very rational. You know, the reason you would get like an electric motorcycle is to save money and have zero maintenance, or close to zero maintenance. There's a Tesla right there. What is that, a Model Y or something? So you get zero maintenance. I mean, that's the beauty of the cars as well. It's like, okay, you get a very reliable motor, and you don't have to change the oil, you don't have to do anything, there's no fluids really. Another Tesla Model 3. So I think cars in a way are a much better value for electric vehicles, because the one thing about cars is that you can keep the battery low, and a lot of these Teslas, they have what's called the skateboard design. The batteries are right in the platform, so the weight feels much lower, and on a Zero, it's high up. The battery is almost like a tower PC, just full of lithium batteries, and those things are extremely heavy. Because the weight is so much lower, you can get the center of gravity like further down, and the motors are in the wheels, so it feels like the electric stuff was meant for cars. I really wish that the technology would improve on batteries so it's like lighter weight, but even if they did, that would be much more expensive. You know, it's kind of the reason like the smaller computers cost more than the bigger computers. Since motorcycles are also more recreational vehicles, people tend to want to use them for like riding with friends, going into the countryside, enjoying their day out, riding twisties, and electric bikes are just not capable of doing that. I've encountered quite a few Zero riders that they say that they do like 140 miles, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, yeah, you'll do 140 miles on the highway at a steady pace, and that's pretty much it. Like, everybody kind of knows that electric stuff, if you pay $15,000 for a motorcycle and you have a limited range of 100 miles, then it just feels like a ripoff. At least for me, it feels like a ripoff. You know, we've all seen them, the Teslas, the Chevy Bolts, not so much the Chevy Sparks. There's the Porsche electric stuff coming out, the Audi, the Hondas, and of course all the hybrid stuff. They're all extremely popular. And especially like in rich areas, whenever you go to California, San Francisco, Los Angeles, you'll start to see an increase in electric vehicles. So electric vehicles like cars have gotten such popularity because they are great, but they are unaffordable for most people. Here's a Tesla. That's a Model 3, I believe. They are so good, and I would love to have a Model 3. But the issue with electric motorcycles like Zeros, first, there's really only one competition for electric motorcycles. There's the Zeros. They used to be Bravo, I believe Energic, whatever, but very few companies make electric vehicles. A lot of them were vaporware, like the Vectrix electric scooters. And I'm gonna fill this bad boy up. Oh man, I don't think it's even gonna, yeah, won't even take $3. Oh, a cicada almost made it in my tank. Don't fall in there, buddy. Man. Anyway guys, I'm using my GoPro Hero 4 Plus. I think that's what the name of it. And in a way, this is a superior GoPro than the Hero 5 I normally use, because it doesn't use that blocky audio adapter that GoPro started to implement on the 5. I really wish that GoPro had better competition, because they're like the only game in town. You could get like that Ghost Drift, and that's a pretty decent dash cam for motorcyclists, but I would rather have like the blocky format. I really look forward to integrated dash cams on helmets. I can't believe that helmet manufacturers have not started to put that on their bikes.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. What?
Kind of stuck here. The cops won't bother me.